Okay, traders. Now, I've just been doing a bit of testing of Primetime Pro on the equity markets, right? We know the equity markets run, and when they do run, they can trend for a year or two. So this is a great trading opportunity for Primetime Pro to get into the trade. Now, I'm looking at a daily chart of the US 500. You can see very clearly here back in February 2020, we've got a low, we've got the trend in play. Once it hits this second level, that sort of determines the trend is in play. In actual fact, if you want to wait for the third touch, which is probably a smart thing, and that is sort of in 2023, then you know for sure that the trend is set. It's just a matter of getting into the trade and staying in it. Now, where the real opportunity starts for me is when it breaks back above the bull bear line after that third touch. Okay, you got the starting point, second touch, the third touch. So what we're doing is we're incorporating components from the masterclass course to put them into play using Primetime Pro. Okay, so I'm looking for that spot there. Now, if I just clear the screen and zoom in a bit, we can start to see here very clearly where the opportunity starts, right? And this is where I would put Primetime into play, okay, at this level. We know the trend is in play. We're back above the bull bear line. It's starting to move higher. Now, with the equity markets, it's just a matter of staying in the market. And this is one of the challenges you may have is just finessing your trade plan to make sure it stays in. You want to have a decent trailing stop loss because it does have pullbacks. But if you're in the cash, you can afford that. Okay. It's just the initial entry that we're looking for. So if I just come into the expert list, go into properties, and we can just go through the settings here for this opportunity, trading 10 lots, a stop loss of 50 points. Now that's pretty tight. Okay, that could potentially be wound out to 75 points. With the take profit, I think 500 is conservative because when this does run, you can see 750 points or more out of the equity markets. Now, trailing stop, true. So we are going to run with one. Now, this is where I think a bit of wisdom comes into play, right? You don't want your trailing stop getting too close to the market. So at 200 points in the cash, I will get my trailing stop to trail the market by 200 points. That means once we're 200 points in the cash, we've got a risk-free trade on. And if the market is true and the trend is in play, then we've got nothing to worry about. Okay, I've got the period set to 200. We are all set. So let me just put this into play and we'll see how Primetime Pro managed the opportunity. Okay, now Primetime Pro is in play. Now, you can see it takes some time to get into the trend, right? It's one of the things I like because it's very selective. Now, the trade is in play and the trailing stop kicks in. Okay, now this is where a bit of finessing and a bit of market experience will guide you into maximizing your profits. And we maximize our first take profit with a 500-point take profit, netting us 50K. Now, the second trade, okay, the equity market's nosedived, and that's going to cost us some cash. So when we hit that third trade, you can see we've lost $5,000 on the second one. And the third trade is in play. And once again, the equity markets start to run and we cash in with 30K. So all up, it's a pretty good trading opportunity that has netted 75,000. Now, this is where a bit of expertise comes into play. This area here, we suffered a $5,000 loss. And if you understand how the fundamentals work, well, this is where you're going to be able to manage the opportunities a bit more. Now, this event coincided with the Fed interest rate decision. Not only did they keep rates on hold, but they were actually talking about there's going to be a delay in rate cuts. Okay. And that saw the Treasury yields rally and the equity markets got hit. So putting your knowledge of the masterclass into play here, you can manage trading opportunities around those central bank events. So this trade, you know what, would not have happened. And once that opportunity has run its course, you can be looking to get Primetime Pro back into action, ready for the next leg of the trend. So I'm happy to say for all of our clients who are trading equity indices, you're going to love putting Primetime Pro into play.